Shalom. This is Brother Moa coming to you again with another lesson. Lord willing, Shalom, Shalom. This is Brother Moa coming to you again with another lesson. Lord willing, this will be edifying to those of you who are tuning in. Before we get started, I'd like to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash, double honors of teachers, elders, and apostles of great millstone, also to you, brothers, so they're putting out this truth, faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and to you, brothers and sisters tuning in, Shalom. And today we're going to go into the sorrows that are starting to take place here in Great Babylon, America, and across this earth in particular. But we're going to focus here on Great Babylon, America, because this place is known as spiritual Sodom in Egypt, and this is where the biblical Hebrew Israelites are mostly congregated here in Great Babylon, America. While you have these other 17 nations, including our main enemy Esau, the so-called white man, are looking upon us and oppressing us, and these other nations, these other 16 nations that are here that have have been fruitful as far as gathering wealth and living deliciously here in Great Babylon, America. You're about to get those sorrows because you see, when we're out there on the highway and the byway, although our message is for the 1/3, hopefully, lack of Yasharala Israel, so-called Black Americans, Latino, and a warning, as a watchman of Yasharala to the 2/3 of that continue to be in this nation. We also let you other nations know what is coming down the pipeline. Let's start off with the book of Matthew, chapter 24, starting with verse 6, and it reads, "And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So when we bring up the reports of these news, of rumors of war that you see going on right now across the earth, and those wars are actually, we have wars here in Great Babylon, America, on a small scale, because you have these, the tribal wars, you have the wars between the governments, the states, you have some states right now already saying that they're disagreeing with this, new digital currency that's coming out, so we're about to see some wars coming on right now because there's a lot of opposition that says, but the end is not yet, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these things are the beginning of sorrows. And we are seeing this happening right now with all the spills and all of the things that's going on here. That's leading to what? The famine, because they're killing and destroying the soils and the water that's going to be used to even fertilize or water the plants. And you're talking about the pestilence and stuff right here with these newly created, bioengineered diseases that Esau, the so-called white man, is putting out there. And also when you're polluting the water, that's going to create pestilence too, because the water's going to become poison, undrinkable. And these people are not going to warn you about it. And the earthquakes, of course, we've seen these earthquakes that's happening all across the earth. And these nations, we say, for nations rise against nations. Remember, there's 18 tribes here. Those are nations. Yasharala, is subdivided into what? 12 nations. You have two separate kingdoms. You got the northern kingdom, and the southern kingdom. So you have 12 tribes, and then you have in the one nation, and then you have these other nations out there. Some with Esau, the Edomites. And then you go all the way down to these other nations. So they are, the Hamites and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So these nations are going to rise up here because why? As the wicked man himself, Esau, the devil, start to really, tighten his grip on society, which we see right now. That grip is tightening us as people are starting to realize, wait a minute, if you watch the show Redacted and a couple of these other, stream pods and stuff like that, where these Edomites are set up on these other platforms, some of them are, YouTube seems to allow them to have theirs up there and running. You're seeing a worry in their head because see, they have something to lose. They have something to lose. We, on the other hand, have all to gain, because that's why it opened up and said, and you should hear wars and rumors of war. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we have to continue to endure, in truth and faith, and do this work, and be as obedient servants and friends to the Yahushua and Mashiach, going out there and preaching this gospel. Let's go into the book of Jeremiah 51 and verse 7, because anytime you walk down the street, and brothers and sisters can attest to this, because we've had to deal with these Moabites, we've had to deal with the Ammonites, we've had to deal, let me speak in English, we've had to deal with the Chinese and Koreans, in Japanese, but in particular the Chinese and the Koreans are the two meanest of the slanty eyes people that we deal with here in Great Babylon, America. Not to mention the fact that Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, has a constant sword to our neck and our throat, with all these different threats. Okay, and why are these nations so proud? Okay, because they live deliciously. They see us here who've been over here for several centuries living horribly. Even the best of us. Okay, and I don't even consider them us because I don't consider these wealthy guys or at least a wealthy to us poor man standard. Okay, people like Chris Rock and the basketball players them who sold out and bent over and have a penis up their rectum in order to live deliciously over here. I don't consider them to be part of us. Um, but you see these other nations, they scorn and scoff at us all the time. But here's why they're doing it. Jeremiah 51:7, it says Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's Yahweh Shemashai's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of full wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. When you think of mad, okay, it's not, there's two ways you can look at it. I'm mad. Or you're mad because you've gone mad like crazy, like the Joker is considered mad because, he's a genius in some sense, but at the same time, too, the way he does his things is considered madness, and that's these people over here. They've drunken the wine, that they've drunken the pride and the stoop, they're in the stupor of drunken stupidity here in Great Babylon, America, because they really buy into the fact that this place is just going through a tough time. It'll come out again. So-called white man knows what he's doing. He has your best interest and all the other stuff like that. And as long as they see our people are down in depression and living on the streets and begging and looking deprived, that makes them feel good. And that's why you can see that. You can see that in their face. That look at them, look at these people. Even if you because what you consider doing better than them, you have a house, you have cars, or whatever the case is like that, they still look at you as just the N word, what they always like to put out there. Okay. And I'm going to say it. They look at you just as a doggone nigger, and you can attach a whole lot of doggone meaning to that. Okay. They don't see you any different. And that's because why? They're drunk of all the pride, the things that the so-called white man sells, what America sells. Life is better here. We even have that amongst our own tribe. Okay. Which is the reason why you have a lighter skinned brothers and sisters, tend to look down at us darkies. How many times have you talked to a Northern Kingdom and they looking at you and they really believe that you come from Africa and they from Mexico or whatever the case is like that, and you are totally different. You show them the chart, and it's like, no, we're all the same. You are going to catch hell. You are no different. Okay. Now we just have the darker skin. That's we are from the hair tribe, the house of Judah. Okay, this is where the Mashiach, or who the world even call Jesus, is from. Okay, and they hung him the same way they've been hanging us. So we got dealt with a lot, more publicly, what's put in the history book and what they're showing like that, because they needed to have, they need to have somebody, okay, that the world can look at and really, really despise, and those people happen to be us darker skin Hebrew Israelites, okay, who the world really, 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 really despise, including these doggone stinking, filthy, poo eating doggone Hamites who even darker than us and yet still look down with us. All right. So this is what you see going on here is that wicked pride that's here in Great Babylon, America, okay, and these other nations, they're not drunk and stupid because they have no clue what is coming down for them. They're feeling it, but they don't understand it. And that's the difference right there. See, we do. Because why? The testimony was only given to the men that the Lord, Yahushua Mashiach, has chosen to give the testimony to come in these last days. Okay, let this earth know, okay, what is about to take place. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 15, verse 7. He says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Those days are already here now. Okay, we in those days. Okay, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, and those are starting to come. Okay, now I always like to use the example of the Titanic. Okay, you got the upper class people, the very top, and then you had all the bottom workers, at the bottom. When that ship, according to the movie, when they hit the iceberg like that, guess who actually perished first? The people at the bottom. They actually seal the bottom in order to keep that boat afloat. Okay, for a couple more hours, and then they start playing the music up there to what? To put everybody to sleep. And while they got all of the elites off the boat, okay, the boat had enough, okay, lifeboats to really accommodate everybody. But in reality, all they got off was these boats were leaving, okay, with doggone 2 or 3 people on it, which for a boat that could actually hold somewhere around 50 to 75 people. Okay, and this is for those of you who watch the movie, you can see this. So this is what's happening here in Great Babylon, America. The poor right now has already been shut off and is really feeling that sorrow. But the rest of the people right now is being entertained. The music is still playing. Okay, that we're gonna just now take it to the next level of digital currency. Okay, and they don't realize that the people understand what the MOTB is, the mark of the beast, really is, and what that entails okay, and what the actual judgment of that is, okay, coming from the Lord, how about you, Shai, on those who actually receive that mark, okay? And it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? Okay, and those evils are already here. And the only thing we can do is we pray and throw our hands up all the time. That's why we open up everything with giving all glory and honor to Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Rakakadash. Okay, we open it up like that because we understand this. We know what is going to take place. We understand. Okay, the only way we are going to get out of this is with that protection from Yahushua and Mashiach. There's no other way out of this. None, none. There is none out of it. And it says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation, anguish, as sin as a scourge for an amendment." Okay, these are already here right now. People are feeling it. The people at the bottom are feeling it, and it gets up to the next level, to the next level. Okay, and that's why when you go into Revelations, okay, which talked about the mark that's going to be implemented. What did it say? It said it's going to be implemented on what? Great, rich, poor, free, and bond. It doesn't matter, lottie dottie, everybody, because that's a judgment coming from the Lord Himself. Okay, where He's going to try this earth. Okay, and Yahushua and Mashiach said what? Okay, because we've kept His word and His patience, we are going to be saved out of that. We will not be put in a situation where we would have to get and go and bow down to this so-called white man. Okay, and take that mark and be doomed. Okay, for destruction. And it says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourge. Why? Because they're being entertained. Hey, TV right now, how much satellite TV or cable TV channels you have? What, hundreds, thousands? I mean, YouTube, they'll take our videos down at that, but they've got like what, a couple billion doggone videos on all absolute wickedness, okay, all over the world. And Twitch and the rest of them, they're no different either. Okay, they're no different. Okay, because they're not focusing on keeping you awake or keeping you in the loop of truth. They're focusing on all the distraction. Okay, all the distraction. Okay, to pull you. Yeah, you watch a lesson, but then now you're distracted with all these other things. And these things are popping up. Ads are popping up all over the place like that. Okay, so and we'll talk about an option for that at another lesson. And it says, of all these things, they should not turn from the wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Behold, victual should be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evil go upon the earth, sore famine and great confusion. As these stores start to go out of business, they go on sale. You can now buy a lot of stuff that probably would have been full price last year now for like 30%. Because as these stores start to go out of business, what they do is something called liquidation. Liquidation, okay, means that they're just trying to just get rid of it. It's excess inventory, and they're gonna just try to get it to whoever can get it. So what is considered to be old product, which is like what, 4 or 5 months old, it could be a new product for somebody like that. So any of you that I mean, I did it in my life. If you're smart and sharp like that, I always wait until a couple till that product is actually out of season, and then that's when I go and get it like that. And you can get that same good product at a high price, because I don't get involved with the latest of the doggone BS and stuff like that. If I don't need it, I don't get it. And it's just this way I've always carried my life. Okay. And it says, but these people right now, because they can go to Amazon, click on there, they can go in the store and get the latest doggone crap and, blow their crap like that. And now they're starting to feel, okay, that pressure right now, especially the poor people, because the poor people tend to be the ones that like to spend what they don't have. Okay. They like to use what they don't have, their credit and all the other stuff. All right. But anyways, going on and going forward, it says, and the dead should be cast out as dung. There should be no man to comfort them, for the earth should be wasted and the city should be cast down. So this is talking about the people that they're losing their mind. Okay. And you other nations that are here, you are going to see, you don't get to hang your head down and walk around, and walk into your doggone what kind of your Lexus, and what kind of other car they like to drive, BMWs and the electric car there. I saw it a lot up in the when I was out in the Bay Area, when I lived out in Silicon Valley. Okay, where they drive, and which most of those other nations are in that area. Particularly the what they call us Asians people. Okay, you're not gonna get away hanging your head down like that. There's gonna be great violence here in this place, man. A lot of violence, and so that's why I talked about before, and great confusion. Okay, at the same time, things are cheap. You can still buy stuff at the same time. This devil is working and bringing out, and gradualism is being pushed forward like that. And at the same time, you get people who are like, oh, feel depressed. They lost their job. They've never been unemployed before. It's a whole new experience of needs and wants right now that's coming place in Great Babylon, America. And it says, there should be no man to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? Hey, ain't gonna be no more Issachar anymore. Okay, people complain, go back to your own country, go back to your own country. Well, you know who's going to get it? These doggone meth head Edomites. Okay, when was the last time you see Edomites ain't gonna do it? Okay, they're on meth, man. They ain't gonna work for that kind of money. Edomites don't work. They don't really work, and they don't really earn their money the fairly rate. And I'm talking about you doggone low level Edomites. Okay, you're not gonna go out there and pick the fruits. So you're gonna starve to death because why? The low level people in society that you despise so much, a Hebrew Israelite is what keep this place afloat. Okay, us so-called blacks and Americans and Latinos is what keep this place afloat. We do all of the dirty work and make you people life miserable, make you feel like you are something. That's why you have a wealth gap. You have wealth gaps between us, and you can walk around and thumb your nose and smirk at us because why? You know we serve you basically here. Okay, because why? This is spiritual Egypt. All right, let's close it out because this is where it gets really good here. All right, because we can look at the epic closure that's going to be coming to this. Okay, we're already in the start of these sorrows right now, and there's an epic closure that's going to be coming to this. Okay, and this is the final chapter. And who's this good for? This is good for us. You other nations are here to go through massive tribulation the same way we're going to go through tribulation with Jacob's trouble. You're also going to get impacted by it too because why? Okay, there's something called collateral damage. Okay, Esau doesn't give a rat's ass. He's going after Jacob. Okay, Yasharala, also called Black Americans Latino. And that could be, we don't even know the number of that here in Great Babylon, America, but I could tell you one thing, we do make up the majority. So that death and the famine really is going to affect us. Okay, this is the book of Luke 21, starting with verse 25, and it says, and there should be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations. Again, okay, we can focus that here on Great Babylon, America. It's all across the earth, but we're here in Great Babylon, America. Nations, these tribes, all the tribes, they're going to be distressed out too. Okay, so what going on there suddenly now? It's like, woo, it's for real. All right. Those demonstrations ain't gonna be no doggone puppy show or no simulation anymore. They're gonna be for doggone real, and people gonna be out there getting smacked the hell up. You see in the news today, cops getting deleted, all kinds of things are going on right now. Why? People losing their mind, and people deal with issues of tribulation differently. All right. And it says, the seas and the waves roar. Salaki, let's go back. And there should be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, the stress of nation with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Man heart filling them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven should be shaken. Now they're saying there's a mothership out there. Damn mothership. There's a fathership. Okay, there's an armada of ships, thousands, if not millions. We don't know the exact number, okay, of Yahushua Mashiach's, ships, but they're out there, and Esau sees them. He sees them. He knows. Okay, things are going on. Meteorites keep passing this earth almost every other week. There's a comet or something passing by, what they call near miss. Okay, all kinds of things are going on here because this place is being shaken. Okay, and it says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in cloud with power and great glory. Okay, all of us, is going to see him. Those who are alive are going to see him. All right. So, obviously the whole earth hasn't seen Yahushua Mashiach return yet. So we could go into a whole lot of lesson about the 48ers over there like that. And they're catching hell over there. Okay, they're catching hell. And it says, and when these things began to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. That is a closure that we are looking for right now. The closure that we are looking for, that redemption is drawing nigh, because what? It now is a conclusion of our slavery. It is the conclusion of our punishment. Okay, those who are left is now going to get crowned. Okay, the man who served and cried, and did the work. Okay, Lord willing, is us. Will get crowned. Okay, and the rest of these people on this earth is about to get and see what the fear of the Lord really is all about. And that is very confident when you read that part, and it says, when these things begin to come to pass, okay, everybody else is worried about it. They're worried about the future. What am I going to do for the next generation? Then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. That is what we are waiting for. When we see that light that doesn't dim in the night sky or the day sky, we know that our Malak is returning. The commanding chief is returning to save his people, the hopefully lack of Yasharala, us so-called blacks and the Americans and Latino. So I'd like to close it by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. And also to you brothers that are putting on this truth faithfully, fearlessly, feed the sheep. And to you brothers and sisters that are tuning in Shalom, DTA, and a ball soon. Very, very soon.